Hey friends, I hope that this video finds you well. I know you're probably loving getting to stay home, but I wish that we were at school and we weren't worried about all of this. So, we'll just jump right into it. Most of you have already signed up for my Remind, but if you haven't, you're going to text this code, including the @ sign, AFH739 to 81010. And so parents, you can do that too, but it's more just going to be a weekly, hey, remember that we have this. I think I can reach out to people individually if they haven't done their work yet, and then you can reply to me. So it's kind of a way to text me if you need to get a hold of me. Another way always is email. So there's my email address. Any questions that you have, I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible, but for sure within 24 hours I'll be in touch. So if you don't understand or if you need extra time or whatever, just let me know, okay? So just jumping right into it, the big thing for this class in Algebra 1, I'm sure you already know, is that they have canceled STAR for this year. Yay! Okay? So just understand, and that's for this class and English, STAR is gone for this year. But if for some reason you mess around and fail the course and have to retake it as a sophomore, STAR will be back. So make sure that you're doing any assignments that are sent home during this time. You really want to pass and be done with these classes and with those 2 STAR tests. Okay? So I'm going to try to make our assignments doable, right? Of course, I want you to be successful and pass, but just make sure for all your classes that you're getting that work done and that your grade's not in jeopardy, because STAR is gone this year, but it will be back next year. And if you have to repeat these classes, you'll have to take the STAR test. Okay? So just really understand that. Another thing with that, there's no STAR. We actually finished everything that we needed to do before spring break, because my plan was to come back after spring break and work on STAR, right? So that we would be ready in May. So for this virtual learning time, and if we end up back in the classroom, we're just going to be working on skills, just good math skills that are going to help you, okay? Just a little refresher so you're not forgetting things, and so you're ready for your classes next year, all right? Maybe you haven't thought about this, but you don't have a calculator at home, unless you have calculator number 1, because it's still missing. Find it. But you can download these free apps on your phones, okay? So if you have an iPhone, the app is called Calculate 84. It's really cool. I have it, and I'll try to use it as we work through stuff, just so you know what we're looking at. It looks exactly like our calculators, but it's on your phone, okay? And then if you have an Android, it's called Wabbit Emu, I think. It looks like a photograph of the calculator, and then you're pressing the buttons. It's really neat. Someone went to a lot of trouble. But you can have a calculator on your phone, okay? So that's not an excuse for not getting your work done, is that you don't have a calculator, because you can have one, okay? And if you have a calculator at home, just a simple one, that'll work too. So those apps are free. Make sure that you get those. Just another thing, we'll be doing IXL for all this. No surprise there. Parents, if you're not familiar with it, it can be done on their phones, or now they have their iPads, or on a computer. You can go just to the internet and do IXL there, okay? So there's lots of ways that our IXL can get done. A few more things on IXL. This is mostly for parents. Students should already know this. If you were to miss a question, IXL gives a step-by-step instruction on how it should have been worked out and solved. Okay? So if we get to a lesson that's not making sense, use that as a tutorial and as a teaching tool to help you get through it. Okay? Some of my best students really use that. They write down everything it says and make their own notes and examples and get through the lesson that way. Also, while we're still talking about IXL, for this time being, a SMART score of 70 will equal 100 in the grade book. Okay? For some of you, I know it's not really fair that I'm not there with you to help you, and so that'll be a way to kind of help everyone out. So if you can get a 70 on a lesson, it'll count as a 100. And so my plan, as this goes on, is that we'll do 2 to 4 IXLs a week. This week we have 3 planned. They're really basic. You could knock them all out in one day, or you could do 1 a day, stop this video, and come back and get the instruction for the next lesson. So however you want to do it, there's just going to be 1 video a week that covers all of the IXL, and then, yeah, watch it as you need to, okay? So, I think that's it. We might as well just jump into it. If you want to take notes along with me, I've already written a lot of it, so you could pause it and write yours down and then play it and answer the questions with me. Or if you just want to watch it, you can screenshot it or get your phone out and take a picture of this video. Whatever works for you, okay? We want you to be successful, and you can be, and you will be. The only other thing, this week is still the 5th 6 weeks, and so there's 3 IXLs that'll go on that grading period, and then if this continues or if we're back at school, everything else will go on the last 6 weeks. So if I have to make another video, I'll talk about that some more. So let's just jump right into it. Going back to some integer operations. So if you'll remember, an integer is a positive or negative whole number, all right? Going way back. It's been probably at least 2 weeks since you've really done anything, especially math. We're going to start back in slow. So on any of this, you could just put it in your calculator. And I know that's what most of you will do. But we can talk about it. This says, is negative 3 times negative 10 positive or negative? Well, if we go back to our rules, a negative times a negative is going to be positive. Or you definitely could just put it in your calculator. You see that it's 30, it's a positive number. So that's how this first IXL is going to start out, just asking you positive or negative questions. Is negative 27,832 divided by 28 positive or negative? Well, in multiplication and division, if one is negative and one is positive, our answer is negative. Okay? Is negative 21 divided by negative 7 positive or negative? Well, just like up here, in multiplication and division, 2 negatives make a positive. Or you could have put it in your calculator. You would have seen that it was 3. That's a positive number. And the next two are addition and subtraction. So it says, is 20 minus negative 960,447 positive or negative? Well, I'm minusing a negative number. A lot of times that just means plus. Or I could have put it in my calculator, saw that that was a positive number. The blue one says, is 289 plus negative 231 positive or negative? Well, plus a negative is really just like a minus. It's 289 minus 231, positive or negative. It's positive. So that's how that lesson's going to start till about 40, and then it's going to give you some problems. Again, guys, some of you are going to know it and just work it out, or you can use your calculator. And so that's what I'm going to do. All right. Negative 2 times negative 3. I just want to show you that this calculator works exactly like the ones at school. Okay? So it has its negative sign, negative 2 times, it shows up as a little dot, negative 3. Enter. The answer is positive 6. Right? We probably already knew that. The next two are just different ways to show division. So we just need to remember that that house is division, and also the fraction bar means division. Okay? So this is actually 20 divided by negative 2. So I'm not going to tap in all of these, but just a reminder of what the symbols mean. 20 divided by negative 2 is, of course, negative 10. This is 30 divided by 10, which we know is 3. Okay? This is just getting back into it. We'll get to practice using this new calculator. Negative 62 plus negative 46. Negative 108. So if you wanted to pause it and answer the rest of these on your own, that would be fine. We're just practicing right now. 75 plus negative 90. Negative 15. 3 times negative 9. Well, back to those rules. 3 times 9 is 27. And 1 negative. Negative 40 plus 60 is positive 20. Okay? So use that calculator. You don't even have to make 100. You have to make a 70. And I'm going to give you 100. Perfect. So that's going to be B1. Okay? B1. It's going to ask if things are positive or negative, and then it's just simple two-term equations. Okay? And then the next one, B2, is going to give you 3 or 4 numbers. Okay? Same thing. If you're trying to do this in your head, which is totally fine, you just need to remember PEMDAS. That doesn't just go in order. You have to follow it. Like here, you would have to multiply first. Or your calculator understands, as long as you're using one of these calculators, okay? Where you can type in the whole thing at once. So, I'm going to do it. 1 minus 3 times 3. Negative 8. This would be another good time to pause it and copy down these. Or not even copy down if you don't want to. But write down the answers and then let it come back and see what you're getting, okay? I'm going to do this one in my head. 4 times 2 is 8. Divided by 4 is 2. Here's another one. 6 divided by 2 is 3 minus 10. So 3 minus 10 is negative 7. This one has a lot going on. This might be a good time to use my calculator again. Remember, there is a difference in minus and negative. This one right here is also a negative. I just wrote it terrible. Okay? So that's a negative also. So I have 2 minus negative 4 divided by negative 2. Your calculator can handle this. And I ended up with 0. Okay? Alright, and again, I don't know, I think I might have just accidentally made that little minus right there. Sure, let's do this one together. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 minus 9 is negative 5. And negative 5 plus 7 would be back at positive 2. Okay? And the last one I messed up when I was writing it. Your calculator can do parentheses, which is what I'm going to show. If you're doing it in your head, which I am totally fine with as long as you're getting them right, you're going to want to do everything in parentheses first, and then 6 divided what you're getting there, okay? So let's use our calculator though. 6 divided by parentheses, 1 times 7 minus 4. And then this one automatically closes it. Enter. The answer is 2. So this little section right here is IXL B2. They're going to be separate grades. So this week you're getting 3 grades. It's B1, B2, and B3. These kind of went together, so I put them on the same page, okay? So if you wanted to pause it right now or stop it and go do these lessons and then come back maybe another day and do the next one, that would be fine. Or you can just go ahead and watch this whole video and get these notes and then do all of the work at one time, if that works for you, okay? And then just a reminder to parents, to everyone, IXL is on your phone, so if it's better for you to use data instead of Wi-Fi, that's an option. And I emailed all the parents the IXL logins, okay? So check your emails. No one's got returned. They all sent. Has your IXL login and your password if you need it, okay? So then here's our last one for this week. It's called Evaluate Expressions. And that's when they tell you what a letter stands for. Like in this first one, they tell you that y equals 2. So then you're going to go over to the expression. We're going to plug in the 2 for that y and then work it out. Okay? So actually in my calculator, I would type in negative 2 minus 10. I'm replacing the y with the 2, keeping everything else the same. And so I would see that that was negative 12. Okay? That's what this whole lesson is about. It's telling you what the letters equal and you're plugging it in. And it starts out, it just gives you 1, and then it moves down into 2 and 3. But again, you're only having to go to 70, so it shouldn't be that many questions. The orange one says, evaluate for m equals -9. So when it's negative, the negative is staying with it, and it's going here. You might need to remember what it means when two things are touching each other like that, okay? Well, the -2 here and the m are multiplying. So when I plug in -9 for m, it's multiplying it. So I have -2, I'm going to use parentheses, that's what I like, times -9 minus 20, okay? I would put that in my calculator, where I would work it out. -2 times -9 is 18, minus 20 is -2. Okay, we've done this, guys. It's just a review to keep your mind working so you're ready to come back whenever that happens. This one says evaluate for g equals 2. So just like before, it's coming in. It's going to be multiplying. -7 times 2 is -14. It's okay to use your calculator. I'm just going to go a little bit faster and save us some time. All right. Now in this green one, we have two letters or variables. It says P equals 2 and Q equals 21. So everywhere that I see a P, I'm going to replace it with 2. And then when I see my Q, it's going to be 21. So 2 squared, and then they're touching, so that means multiply. I'm going to use parentheses, plus P, so plus 2. Okay, I'll plug that one in my calculator just to remind us of how to do that exponent. So, we have x squared on the side, which will put a 2 in the exponent, or you can use, sorry, you can't see it, or you can use the house top, which is above the divide symbol, and that'll get you an exponent box. You can put whatever number you want. So that's what I'm going to do, is press the exponent. It puts my cursor up there. There's my squared, and then I need to arrow off of it to get back to regular. I have parentheses 21 plus 2, and that equals 86. Okay, so to get that little 2 up there, I'm hitting the button above the division sign, and then I have to arrow off of it to get back to regular numbers. Here we go. Again, we're just talking about some of these symbols, just as a review, and how to find it in your calculator, okay? So if n equals 13 and p equals -9, what is the square root of p plus n? So square root, p is -9, plus n is 13. So that's what I'm putting in my calculator. All right, the square root button is on the side, and it's blue, okay? So I'm having to press second, and then it, right there, till I get my symbol, and then it's negative, not a minus, -9 plus 13. Enter. 2. Okay, 2 more, guys. Thanks for sticking with me. We're going to get out of here in less than 20 minutes, I think. It's pretty good. Evaluate for g equals -44. Okay, so if you'll remember, probably from junior high, we haven't really talked about it, those bars mean absolute value, and anything that goes inside them becomes positive. So if I'm putting it in there, -44 minus 87, that means this is positive and then minus 87. But in case I forget that, my calculator can do it too, okay? So I'm hitting the math button, arrowing over to number, and it's that first one, ABS. Some of you may know how to do it with the F's, and that's fine too. But ABS right there stands for absolute value. And so we're going to hit it. It gives me those bars. So I'm going to put in -44. Then we're going to arrow over to get out of it. And then minus, not negative, minus 87. So this answer was -43. If you want to just practice along with me to make sure you can get the right answer, then you can start your IXL. All right, last one. Has 3 of them. That's no problem. There's negatives, there's squares. We're wrapping it up. So F is 13, G is -9, and H is 6. Oh no, that's ugly. It's an H. So G squared plus f plus h equals. So g squared. So this is really important to use my parentheses right here because my calculator doesn't understand squaring a negative. So I'm putting that in parentheses with a square, plus f, so 13, plus h is 6. Okay, let's do it just so we understand how to put it in our calculator. Parentheses, negative 9, get out of it, squared, plus 13, plus 6 equals 100, which is what you're going to make if you get to at least a 70 on these IXLs. So this is IXL B3. Again, your parents have your logins in your email. You have your iPads. It should just automatically work. But if for some reason it doesn't, you have it. Good luck to you. Email me if you need help. I'm going to be checking IXL on Friday at 3:30. So Friday, April 3rd, let's just write that down, is when these are due. Okay, if, I don't know, we get to about Thursday and you haven't even started it yet, I'll probably be reaching out and checking on you. But Friday, April 3rd is when these IXLs are due, okay? Good luck, stay safe, stay healthy, stay home. We'll do this again next week. See ya.